All right, welcome back. So in section 6, we're going to talk about tools. And in this video, we're going to go over an overview of the tools that we're going to be learning about. So in the upper left-hand corner here, we have the move tool, you have the rectangle tool, lasso tool, object selection tool, crop tool, frame tool, eyedropper tool, spot healing brush, brush tool, clone stamp tool, history brush tool, eraser tool, paint bucket tool, also known as the gradient tool. We have the blur tool, dodge tool, pen tool, horizontal type tool, path selection tool, rectangle tool, hand tool, and the zoom tool. So with that's an overview of section 6 tools. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. All right, welcome back. So in this video, we're going to talk briefly about the move tool. All right, so if I hover over here, if you use the letter V, it will move a selection or a layer, okay? So if I go ahead and I go in here, and you don't have to have this because this is, what happened was I recorded the move tool first and the video got corrupted. So I'm re-recording the move tool section. So this is what it's going to look like at the end of this section, okay? But the move tool, what it will do is when you select a layer, you can move it around, okay? So that's the move tool. So thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. All right, welcome back. So let's talk about another one of my favorite tools in Photoshop, the rectangle marquee tool. So make a selection in the shape of a rectangle, right? Okay. So let's create a new layer first. So go over here and click on the plus sign, okay? And then we can draw a rectangle. And then we're going to go down to the bucket tool, paint bucket tool. Select the color you want to use. So I'm going to use this kind of red looking color, okay? And then hit Command D on the Mac, Control D on the PC to fill that rectangle in. And then if I hit Command S or Control S on the PC, you can save that file or go to File and Save right here, which I've already saved it, so it's not going to work. And then we can utilize the Move tool, which we learned in the previous video. So you can use the Move tool to move this around wherever, and then if I do Command T or Control T on the PC, we can grab the Transform tool and make it bigger, okay? So that's how you create a rectangle. That's how you use the rectangle marquee tool. And then that's how you also add fill to it using the paint bucket tool, okay? And then utilize the move tool to move your layer around to lay it where you want it on the canvas, okay? So you can see how all these tools work together, okay? And that's why it's important to know them all, because you're going to use them all in one way or shape or form eventually, okay? You may not use it all at once, but a lot of times you're going to use a lot of tools for a project. So let's do File, Save, okay? So that is the what? Rectangular marquee tool. And you see the little keyboard shortcut here. If you hit the letter M, it'll take you to the rectangle marquee tool, okay? So they also show you the keyboard shortcut on here. So when you hover over these, it tells you what the tool is, and then it tells you what it does, and then also gives you the keyboard shortcut, which is very nice because I use keyboard shortcuts all the time. So you'll notice when I hit the letter V, it takes me to the Move tool, okay? Then when I go to the letter M, it takes me to the rectangular marquee tool, okay? So we'll go back to V, then we'll hit, okay, I don't need to save. I thought I needed to save. All right, so that is the rectangular marquee tool. So thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. All right, welcome back. So in this video, we're going to talk about the lasso tool. So if I click on that, the lasso tool makes freehand selections. So what we can do is we can draw a shape around here, okay? Now, we haven't selected this layer, but if we select layer 1 and then we do this and hit delete, it'll delete that shape, okay? Now if I hit Command D, that will deselect it. Command A will select it. I hit delete and it's gone. Command Z will undo that. Control Z on the PC. Let's save that. Do Command D on the Mac, Control D on the PC. And then let's utilize this lasso tool again, and let's go ahead and select around this rectangle right here. So let's go all the way around. Okay. Whoop. Almost had it. Okay, we'll leave it like that. Then I'm going to hit the V, the letter V for the move tool, and now we can move this around. Okay, because it's been selected. Now, I goofed up and I cut this piece off, which is fine. But we can also do Command C and then create a new layer and Command V, right? And then I can move it around. And then this layer I can delete. Yes, I want to delete that layer. So that's how you use the lasso tool. Okay, you can use it for selections, and really the best part about it is it's a free form, so you can draw whatever shape you need to. Okay, freehand selection, so you can, you know, really do some funky stuff with it, and it's not like a normal shape. You can do unique shapes with it. Okay, so extremely valuable. So hit Command S on the Mac, Control S on the PC to save, and that is the lasso tool, and the letter L for the keyboard shortcut. So we have M for move, V for move, M for the rectangular marquee tool, and L for the lasso tool. All right, so thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. All right, welcome back. So in this video, we're going to talk about the object selection tool. So the object selection tool finds and automatically selects an object inside a defined region. Okay, so what it's going to do is if I highlight this, it's going to select that object. Now, it's not going to do anything because that layer is not selected. So you want to make sure that you always have the layer selected before you use the selection tool. Okay, now my computer is deciding to go crazy right now, and now it's okay. Couldn't find an object to select. There might not be enough edge contrast, or the object might be too small, or the layer might not be selected, and so it can't find anything. So let's try again. And again, it's going to finds and automatically selects an object inside. So let's go ahead and let's do this and see what that does. And you see exactly what it does. It selects that object and gives you the ability now to copy that object. We could paint the object. We can do whatever we need to do with it. Okay. So for this example, let's hit Command C on the Mac, Control C on the PC, and then we'll create a new layer. And then I'm going to hit Command V to copy that. Control V on the PC. Okay. Then let's use this tool again. And what I'm going to do, I'm only going to do half of it. Okay, so it only selects half. I want to go all the way, so we select all of it, and then let's change the color. So let's go to the paint bucket tool, okay, and then paint it like a maroon red. Then hit Command D to deselect, and then the move tool, so we're going to hit V for that, and then Command S on the Mac, Control S on the PC to save. Okay, so we've saved that. So that is the object selection tool. All right, so thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. All right, welcome back. So in this video, we're going to use the crop tool. And we're not going to use the crop tool. We're going to talk about the crop tool, and then we'll use it. So the crop tool, okay, trims or expands the edge of an image, okay? So what you can do with the crop tool is pretty cool. If you have an image, let's say, and you have excess space on the left or the right or the top or the bottom, you can use the crop tool to kind of crop that out, right? So that's one way to utilize it. The other way to utilize it is if we want to kind of shrink our canvas a little bit, we can do that. You notice I grabbed this corner and dragged out or dragged in, and that does the same thing. So I can go all the way over to here, hit return, and I just clipped off a whole bunch of space. I made the canvas smaller, okay? And so here, let me close this panel, the tab group, and then I'm going to do the same thing on this side just to kind of shrink it in a little bit. Hit return, and there you go. So that's how you use the crop tool. All right, so let's hit Command S on the Mac, Control S on the PC. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. All right, welcome back. So in this video, we're going to talk about the frame tool. So the frame tool is a really cool tool. It's used to create a placeholder, okay? Creates placeholder frames for images. So the cool thing about the frame tool, okay, is that you can use this for mock-ups, okay? So an example would be if you were doing a mock-up for a web design, okay? And what you could do is you could put the frame, you could use the frame tool for where you're going to put your images, okay? And then you could size it out so it works for all of your images on your website, okay? Because when you're doing a mock-up for a website, you want to mock up the design first, so the layout first, but you also want to know what the flow is going to be of the content, where you're going to put the content, how are you going to lay it out, that kind of thing. So this is a really cool tool for mocking up websites, for magazines, for print, anything like that. It's a perfect tool for. So for an example, if I put the frame tool over here, right, and then I grab this layer here, okay, the frame tool is only going to work if you have an image in there, right? So essentially what it did is it grabbed this tool right here and made this the image, okay, because I put the frame over the top of it, okay, which is fine. That works because it actually is an image, right? So let's save that, and that's the frame tool. So very simple, very straightforward, a lot of fun to use, and very useful for laying out magazines, print jobs, and mostly websites too. And anything with, you know, a digital animation or design, it's a great tool to use. All right, so thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. All right, welcome back. So in this video, we're going to talk about one of my favorite tools in the Photoshop Adobe Creative Cloud toolbox. This is such a simple tool, but it's very powerful because it basically can set the tone, literally pun intended, the color tone of your project, okay? And that is the eyedropper tool. So the eyedropper tool, you can sample colors from an image. So the cool thing about this is you could have an image of, let's say, a sky, right? And you're like, oh, I like that color of the light blue or whatever you got. You can go in with the eyedropper tool and select from that entire image and basically pick that color out of the sky, and you get a number like this, which is a hex code, okay? So you get a hex code here. You also get the HSB, you get the RGB, okay, and also CMYK. All right, so you get all the different variations for the colors that you need. And remember, you're doing print. If you're doing print, you're dealing with color. If you're doing digital RGB, you're dealing with color. So either way, you're dealing with color. That's why it's an important tool, and it's a lot of fun to use, because you can use that eyedropper to grab whatever color you need for your project, okay? So it's literally a lot of fun to do, okay? So I'll show you an example real quick. We'll just use the eyedropper on, in fact, if we double click on this set foreground color, right, you'll notice the eyedropper tool shows up. Okay, the other way to do it is like this. So if I just grab the eyedropper, it's just going to select that color. When I click on it, it'll select that color. So let's say we wanted to grab this color. Okay, so like a light blue-ish color, right? I would never know what the color, what the hex code is for that. I mean, that's a pretty unique color. All of these are. So if you really like something, you can go in there and really grab it and utilize that for your project, okay? That's why I like it. I really like to work with colors. My world is RGB. The entire world is RGB. But I really like to work in colors. So that's why I really like this tool. So I can't emphasize enough how important it is to understand that, so you can work with colors and be able to grab colors from an image and then utilize that for your project, you know, because again, you're working with colors regardless of whether it's print or digital. you're always working with colors. Okay? So that, in a nutshell, is the eyedropper tool, and it's why it's one of my favorite tools in Photoshop and also in Adobe Creative Cloud. Okay? So thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. All right, welcome back. So in this video, we're going to talk about the spot healing brush tool. So this will remove marks and blemishes on an image that you have. Okay? So you'll notice I can't do anything right now because I have the frame tool layer selected. If I go here, then I can actually go in and I can fix up the image if there was anything to fix. Okay, so let's give you an example. So if I were to grab the paintbrush tool and I hit X we click here for the set to the default foreground and background, and then hit X to switch between the foreground and the background. Okay, we want white, and then I want you to go in and just kind of paint around this. Okay, you're like, oh crap, I didn't mean to do that. Okay, here, so we'll hit Command S, and let's say that you can't go back. The program's been closed, and your action list is filled up. And what I mean by that is you've done 10 actions and you can't get back to undo this, right? Well, you can use the spot healing brush. So what you can do is you can go like this, okay, and you can fix the problem, okay? There you go. I should have made it a little smaller, but that's fine. Bear with me, I'm eyeballing it a little bit. Okay, but you see, if I just go like this and go there, it's pretty much good. Now I'm going to zoom in, so hit the letter Z to zoom in, and then we're just going to zoom and make sure we didn't miss anything. I don't think we did. Let me just make sure. I think that's my monitor that's got blemishes on it. Make sure when you're doing Photoshop work that your monitor doesn't have any like smears on it or anything, because that can really throw one person off, you know. Okay, so that is the spot healing brush tool, and it's a lot of fun to use because if you have this example here that they're showing you, there's rocks there, and if you just click on it, it'll make it disappear. Okay, just like when we painted here and then it got rid of it, same thing. It works its magic, and then it will help you to make some really cool stuff on Photoshop. So thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. All right, welcome back. So in this video, we're going to talk about the brush tool. Now we utilized this in the previous video, so we'll just type out brush. I'll draw it, sorry, not type. Brush tool. Okay, there you go. So that's the brush tool. So basically what you can do with this is a variety of things. You can select the brush type. So we can do general brushes. We can do, so if I click on that, I can change the softness of the brush. Okay, we can do a whole bunch of stuff. It's really cool. You can do like a soft round pressure, hard round pressure, opacity and flow, soft round opacity flow. Okay. You can also do dry media brushes. Okay. So like a bonus clunky charcoal or a ultimate charcoal pencil. Okay. So there's a ton of different options. Special effects brushes. Okay, so you have spatter brushes, concept brushes, screen tone. Okay, so if we wanted to use like the spatter one, right, I can just kind of throw it around and make kind of a cool looking design. Okay, and then we could change the color. Okay, and then do like a green. Then a red. Then zoom out. So if I hold Option on the Mac, Alt on the PC, you can see my paintbrush there. Okay, So that's how you use the brush tool. Okay, so you can paint custom brush strokes, and you can see it here. We had a lot of fun with it. All right, so thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. All righty, welcome back. So in this video, we're going to talk about the clone stamp tool. So the clone stamp tool paints with pixels from another part of the image. So an example of this would be if I select the clone stamp tool, and the keyboard shortcut for that is S, okay? And I go here, right? And you hold Option, okay, on the Mac. On the PC, you're going to hold Alt. So you click, I can basically clone this area here and then come over here and draw that out. So why does that work? So basically what you're doing is you're telling it, okay, I want you to clone or copy what's over here so I can draw it here. Okay, and this is a great way to fix up an image, okay, or just copy what you have and put it somewhere else. Okay, so for the example they have here, they have a picture of cherries and they want to copy that and make more, right? So that's a perfect example of what they're showing in this little video here of cloning the cherries over to the other area. Okay, now you can see how it works here, and if I just keep going here, it'll allow me to clone it up until I run out of space. So it's basically just copying what I did, and the cutoff is right here, so I'm basically at the edge now. Okay, so you can see that there's an edge. So it will only do so much, but it's working within the lines that we have, right? So we can fill that in, right? And then we can also go down here and just go all the way over. And we should hit the edge soon. Okay, and then you can also make this bigger in terms of the brush, so it doesn't take so long to do. Okay, and then you can fill it all in. So then you can see we have a copy of the brush here. So if I go to the Move tool, click off of that just so we can see what we did, you can see that we've copied this bottom part up until here. Okay, that was cloned, and then we went over and down to here. So we've copied this part right here, okay? But this gives you a more customizable way to clone something. There's a lot of different ways to do that, but this is the best way to do it if you just need to clone something quickly. All right, so let's go to File, Save. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. All right, welcome back. So in this video, we're going to talk about the History Brush tool. So it restores parts of an image to an earlier state. Okay, so if I select this tool, if there's any history, let me just see if it will let me do that. It will not. So let's look at this example real quick. So the History Brush tool will restore parts of an image to an earlier state. Okay. So it'll basically take you back to what you were doing before. All right? So that's the History Brush tool. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. All right, welcome back. So in this video, we're going to talk about the Eraser tool. So the Eraser tool changes pixels to the background, color, or makes them transparent. Okay, so an example of that would be if I grab this black rectangle right here and use the Eraser tool, I erase that, right? And what's that doing? Well, the background is white, right? So if I take the background off, okay, it should be, well, okay, it's still not working. Oh, there you go. So the background is white, okay? So you can see when I erase, it's going to show whatever the background is. So if the background is transparent, it would be transparent. If it's white, it's going to be white. If it was red, it would be red, etc. Okay? So that's how you utilize the eraser tool. So I'll turn all the layers back on. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. All right, welcome back. So in this video, we're going to talk about the paint bucket tool, also known as the gradient tool. Okay, so with this one, what we can do is we'll just talk about the paint bucket tool first. So let's go ahead and make a new layer. Put this at the top, okay? And let's draw a layer, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the rectangular marquee tool, and let's just hit Command A, okay? And then hit the letter G. Oh, that's a 3D. There we go. All right, so I have this correct tool selected there. So this is the paint bucket tool, okay? Now we're highlighting the gradient tool, so we're going to utilize both. So I wanted to show you the bucket tool first because that's going to give you one color, okay? And then the gradient tool, which if I click on this and go to the gradient tool, that will give me more than one color, okay? So I can go in here and I can grab blues, right? And then just drag down and I have a gradient. And there you go. So that's the gradient tool. So hit Command S. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. All right, welcome back. So in this video, we're going to talk about the blur tool. So it blurs areas in an image. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's draw a rectangle out first. So we'll create a new layer here on top of the gradient. And I'm just going to draw it like this. And then let's also, instead of a gradient, let's just give it the paint bucket tool and paint there. Hit Command D to deselect, Command S to save. Then let's go ahead and grab the blur tool and let's make this brush a little bigger. Let's do all the way 5,000, well, not 5,000 pixels. Let's do like 200. 201 is fine. Okay, and then draw over that. And that should blur it out. Now, that doesn't work because it's not actually an image, but if you had an image like this bird, then you could just draw over it and it would blur out the bird, okay? So there's nothing to blur out because it's a plain color. But if it had an object in it, then it would blur, okay? So that is the blur tool. So thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. All right, welcome back. So in this video, we're going to talk about the dodge tool. So the dodge tool lightens areas in an image. Now again, the perfect example would be the example that they show here on the left of the dog, the picture of the dog where it's a dark color and then you put the dodge tool on there and it lightens the area. Okay, it gives it a little more brightness, basically. Okay, so we can do that here and it will give it a little brightness. Okay. We can still do it. It's going to make it lighter, but it's not going to do the same effect as this, okay? But we can also select a bigger brush so that it's easier to do it, okay? So when I click, and I just keep clicking, it'll fill it in because I used the largest brush they have, 5,000 pixels, okay? And you can see it's making it really bright. And it's catching up to what I'm doing. Now I can hardly see it. So we'll give it a second to catch up here. It really works. You know, the dodge tool is great. I basically turned it from red to white, which is fine. Okay, so let's hit Command S to save. Control S to save on the PC. That's the dodge tool. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. All right, welcome back. So in this video, we're going to talk about the pen tool. So the pen tool, if I select the pen tool, you can see that when you think about the pen tool, I want you to think about points. So the pen tool, what it will do is it will draw points. So when I draw my first point, it's going to do nothing until I extend that point out to here. And then I can draw up here, go over, and then down and connect it back to the other point. Okay, so your starting point is here, then you go over here, you can go up there, over here, and then you want to end that point here. Okay, you can also subtract that point. Okay, and what that does is I deleted that point and then it changed the shape. I can delete this point. Okay, now it's just a straight line. Then I can extend the point or I can delete the point, and then start drawing again. Okay. Let's see if I have. So that's how the pen tool works. All right. So I'll draw a little bit here, right there, and then we'll move this over, just so you can kind of see what we did. Okay, maybe not. I'll save that, and then we can start drawing again. Okay, so that's how you utilize the pen tool. So thanks for watching, and before I go, let's hit Command S to save, and I'll see you in the next video. All right, welcome back. So in this video, we're going to talk about the horizontal type tool. So it adds horizontal type. So if I just click here, now Adobe has lorem ipsum as default text, just so you have filler, which I think is a brilliant idea, because that way, if you're laying out, I'll give you an example. If you're laying out a magazine and you don't have any content written yet, you have fill, okay? And that fill can be used just to get a feel for what the design or the layout of the magazine will be for each page. Okay, it's a great way to get everything set up and then bring the content in, and then you know exactly how many characters you have. It just helps with the planning process. Okay, so that's the horizontal type tool. Now, what you can do with this is we can, if we double click on it, we can change the color. Okay, so I can make it red. We can do like a lime green. We can do a white. You could do a black. Whatever color you want, you can get away with, right? Then you can edit the font, so we can make it bold. We can do let's do Arial black for a little thicker font, right? You can adjust the size, so we can go up to 72 pixels or points. You can type in a custom size outside of that scope. So if you want to make it bigger than that, you certainly can. And then you can utilize the move tool to move it around, okay, and do what you need to do there. Also, with this, you can use the vertical type tool, okay, and then you can also use the mask tools where you can mask that text with like a design, okay, or a pattern, basically what it is, or something that works with your design, okay. So that is the horizontal type tool. I'm going to hit Command S to save. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Alrighty, welcome back. So in this video, we're going to talk about the path selection tool. Okay, so the path selection tool selects a whole path. Okay, so if I select that, I can click. Well, I should be able to click, but the kicker here is you need a vector graphic. So we need to utilize the rectangle tool. So the rectangle tool draws a vector graphic. So what is the difference between a vector graphic and the marquee, the rectangular marquee tool? Well, here's the difference. The rectangle tool draws a vector graphic. A vector graphic doesn't lose quality if you zoom in or out. Okay, that's a vector graphic. A rasterized graphic, when you zoom in, you lose quality. It gets pixelated. Okay, so rasterized graphics are normally used for the web. They're used for videos. They're used for digital design. Okay, for print design, you're using vector. I almost said raster. You're using vector. You're using vector because you don't want to lose the quality. Okay, because it gives you the ability to expand the graphic and shrink the graphic down. So, for example, when you create a logo, you can make it in RGB, but you make it a vector. That way, you can adjust the size of it, and then you can use it for print, you can use it for digital, you can use it for business cards, whatever you need, and you can shrink it down and expand it out, and it's easy to utilize. Okay, so that's why, so that's what graphics are in terms of rasterize and vector. Okay, now back to what we were talking about with the path selection tool. You see how I can select this, okay, and I can move it around. This only works for vector graphics. So if I go into the rectangular tool and I click on, I think it's Control. For me, it's Control. If you click on the little tab here, you can switch the shapes, right? So I can do ellipse, I can do a triangle. So let's draw a triangle. Hold Shift, draw a triangle. Then we're going to do one more. Okay, we'll do a polygon. Okay. And then I'll hold Shift to, there you go. And then when I go to the Path Selection tool, guess what? I can select any of these graphics. So for example, well, I should be able to if I know what I'm talking about. I can select it just by clicking on it and then drag it over. Then I need to go to the polygon and select that, but I need to select the layer to make sure it's selected. Okay, so it does restrict you a little bit, but that's how you use the Path Selection tool. Okay, so thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. All right, welcome back. So in this video, we're going to talk about the rectangle tool. So in the previous video, we basically talked about what the rectangle tool is. It's basically vector graphics, and it's not just a rectangle tool. You also have the following. You have rectangle tool, ellipse tool, triangle tool, polygon tool, line tool, and then the custom shape tool. And this one is cool, the custom shape tool, because there's a gazillion, I should say, lots of different shapes that you can grab from this. And this is not even scratching the surface on what you can do with this. You can also grab libraries, okay? So we can import shapes. This is all I have right now, but you could literally go and get more. So let's grab this palm tree, okay? I'm going to hold Shift, okay? And then if I hit V for the Move tool, hold Alt on the PC, Option on the Mac, I can copy this and make a cool looking red palm tree. And multiple of them. And they're vector. So let's hit Command S to save. So that is in a nutshell, that is the rectangle tool, ellipse tool, triangle tool, polygon tool, line tool, and the custom shape tool. Okay? So thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. All right, welcome back. So in this video, we're going to talk about the hand tool. So the hand tool pans over different parts of an image. So when you are not zoomed in, you can use it to pan to the right, to the left, tilt up, and tilt down, okay? So that's really what the hand tool is for. What I utilize the hand tool for mostly is when I zoom in. So when I zoom in, so if I hit the letter Z and just zoom in like a madman, I hold spacebar and I can grab the hand tool and move it around, okay? So I'll use my left hand to hold spacebar and then my right hand to move the hand tool around so I can really get in and edit the detail that I need to, okay? Now we can zoom out, so I'll hold Option until I see the minus sign, and then hold spacebar and drag to kind of get it lined up. So that is the hand tool. All right, so thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. All right, welcome back. So in this video, we're going to talk about the zoom tool. So the zoom tool is already selected. You'll notice that when we have it selected, you can zoom in and out of an image using the zoom tool. And if you hit the letter Z, that will zoom in for you. And if you hold Option on the Mac, Alt on the PC, it'll zoom out. Okay, and that's the zoom tool. And then you can also use the hand tool with spacebar and then click and drag around your canvas to work on a specific area of your project. Okay, so that's the zoom tool. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. All right, welcome back. So in this video, we're going to talk about a summary of the tools that we learned. So we talked about the Move tool, the rectangular tool, well, the rectangular marquee tool, and the Move tool, the keyboard shortcut for that is V. For the rectangular marquee tool, the shortcut is M. We talked about the lasso tool, and the keyboard shortcut is L. We talked about the object selection tool, and the keyboard shortcut for that is W. We covered the crop tool, and the keyboard shortcut for that is C. We talked about the frame tool, and the keyboard shortcut for that is K. The eyedropper tool, and the keyboard shortcut is I. The spot healing brush tool and the keyboard shortcut is J. The brush tool and the keyboard shortcut is B. The clone stamp tool and the keyboard shortcut is S. The history brush tool and the keyboard shortcut is Y. The eraser tool with the keyboard shortcut of E. The paint bucket tool with the keyboard shortcut of G. The blur tool with no keyboard shortcut. The dodge tool with the keyboard shortcut of O. The pen tool with the keyboard shortcut of P. The horizontal type tool with the keyboard shortcut of T. The path selection tool with a keyboard shortcut of A. The rectangle tool with a keyboard shortcut of U. The hand tool with a keyboard shortcut of H and also spacebar if you're zoomed in. You can just hold spacebar and the hand tool will appear. And then the zoom tool with the keyboard shortcut of Z. So you can see that we talked about a lot of different tools, okay? We did a lot of different things with this project. And not really a project, just kind of a demo of how to utilize the tools. But it's important to understand how to create layers and how to work with the tools. So when we start doing projects, you know how to get around, okay? And then we can start having fun making projects, because this is not the best part of the course. This is the introduction. You know, we spend an hour and a half or however long it is to introduce you to the basic concepts, so once we get into the projects, you can hit the ground running. And you're not like, well, what does this thing do? Or what does that do? You know? Then we can just have fun making stuff, okay? So that's the summary. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.